Michael Jackson stopped mid-song, and what he did next brought 18,000 people to their knees. The music died, the lights froze, and in the front row, a 7-year-old girl was crying. But wait, this wasn't just any concert. This was the Dangerous World Tour. And that little girl, she had 3 weeks to live. August 31st, 1992. Wembley Stadium, London. Michael Jackson was halfway through Man in the Mirror. 72,000 people singing along, the biggest concert of the year. But that wasn't even the incredible part. The real story had started 6 months earlier, and nobody knew the truth. Let me tell you. March 1992. Emma Rodriguez was 7 years old, acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Stage 4. The doctors had given her 6 months, maybe less. "Will I see my birthday?" Emma asked her mother. "Of course, baby," Maria Rodriguez lied. "Of course you will." But Maria knew. The chemotherapy wasn't working, the tumors were spreading, her daughter was dying. Emma's room at Great Ormond Street Hospital was covered in posters. Michael Jackson, every wall, every surface. "When I get better," Emma would say, "I'm going to meet him." The nurses would smile, change the subject, not make promises they couldn't keep. One nurse, Sarah, couldn't forget Emma's face. Every morning at 6 a.m., Emma would wake up singing Billie Jean. Weak voice, barely a whisper, but singing. "It helps with the pain," Emma explained. "When I sing his songs, I forget where I am." Sarah had seen hundreds of sick children. But Emma was different. Even when the morphine made her dizzy, even when the IV bruises covered her arms. She sang, but Emma's father, Carlos, couldn't take it anymore. May 1992. Carlos was working 3 jobs: taxi driver, security guard, weekend construction, trying to pay the medical bills that kept coming. One night, he picked up a passenger, expensive suit, British accent. "Where to?" Carlos asked. "Kensington Palace Gardens," the man said. During the drive, the man noticed the photo on Carlos's dashboard. Emma, bald from chemo, smiling. "Your daughter?" the man asked. Carlos's voice broke. "Yes, she's very sick." The man was quiet for a moment. "What does she love?" "Michael Jackson," Carlos said. "She plays his music every day, even when the pain is bad." The man wrote something on a card, handed it to Carlos with a $100 tip. "Call this number," he said. "Tell them David sent you." Carlos looked at the card. No name, just a phone number. "Who's David?" Carlos asked, but the man was already gone. The next day, Maria called the number. A woman answered. "Hello? Someone named David gave my husband this number, about our daughter." "What's your daughter's name?" "Emma Rodriguez. She has leukemia and—" "Hold, please." 3 minutes of silence, then a different voice. Male, American. "Mrs. Rodriguez, we'd like to send your family to the Dangerous Tour, London, August 31st, front row seats." Maria's hands started shaking. Who is this?" "A friend," the voice said. "Emma will have the best seats in the stadium. And Mrs. Rodriguez, make sure she brings a sign." The line went dead. Carlos didn't believe it at first. It's a scam. It has to be. But 2 weeks later, an envelope arrived. 4 tickets, front row, Wembley Stadium, plus backstage passes. "Oh my God," Maria whispered. "It's real." But here's the thing. By August, Emma was worse. Much worse. The doctors said, "She shouldn't travel. It's too risky." "Please," Maria begged. "It's all she talks about. It's the only thing keeping her going." The head doctor looked at Emma's chart. 3 weeks left, maybe 4. "One night," he said finally. "But she needs medical supervision. We'll send a nurse." August 31st. Emma was in a wheelchair, too weak to walk, an oxygen tank beside her. Nurse Jennifer holding her hand. Maria dressed Emma that morning, a yellow sundress. Emma's favorite. It hung loose. Emma had lost 18 pounds. "Do I look pretty?" Emma asked. Maria's voice broke. "You look beautiful, baby." Carlos carried Emma to the car. She weighed almost nothing, like holding air. During the 2-hour drive to Wembley, Emma kept asking, "Are we there yet? Will he really be there?" Yes, sweetheart, Maria said. Michael Jackson will be there. Emma smiled, closed her eyes. Good, because I want to tell him thank you for keeping me alive. Are you ready? Carlos asked when they arrived. Emma smiled, first real smile in weeks. I'm going to see Michael Jackson. The stadium was massive, 72,000 people, screaming, dancing, waiting. Emma was in the front row. Her sign said, Michael, I'm fighting for my life and your music gives me strength. Love, Emma. Jennifer checked Emma's oxygen levels. Tell me if you feel dizzy, okay? But Emma wasn't listening. The lights went down. And then he appeared. Michael Jackson, rising from beneath the stage. The crowd went insane. Emma was crying. Happy tears. Her father was crying too. Michael performed Jam. Then, Wanna Be Startin' Something. Then, Human Nature. 45 minutes in, he started Man in the Mirror. The entire stadium was singing, arms in the air, lights everywhere, and at that exact moment, Emma collapsed. Her oxygen mask fell off. Jennifer caught her. Emma, Emma, can you hear me? Carlos was screaming. Help! Somebody help! Security guards rushed over. We need to get her out. But then something impossible happened. Michael Jackson stopped singing, mid-verse, mid-note. The music continued for 2 more seconds, then the band realized. Silence. 72,000 people went quiet. Michael was staring at the front row, at Emma, at the chaos. Stop the music, Michael said into the mic. Stop everything. The stadium lights came up, full brightness. Michael walked to the edge of the stage, pointed. The little girl, in the wheelchair. What's happening? Security tried to explain. Sir, she's having a medical episode. We're handling. Bring her up here, Michael said. Now. Jennifer looked at Carlos. We can't. She needs. Bring her up, Michael repeated, louder. Please. 4 security guards lifted Emma, wheelchair and all, carried her up the stage ramp. 72,000 people watching. Absolute silence. As they brought Emma up, Michael's hands were shaking. His manager whispered, Michael, we need to keep the schedule. Not now, Michael said quietly. This matters more. He walked toward Emma, each step deliberate, purposeful. Michael Jackson knelt down beside the wheelchair, face to face with Emma. What's your name, sweetheart? He asked softly. Emma, she whispered, her voice barely there. Emma, why are you here tonight? Because Emma's oxygen was at 87%, dangerously low. Because your music makes me brave. Michael's eyes filled with tears. You make me brave, Emma. He took off his glove, the sequined glove, the one from the performance, and he put it on Emma's tiny hand. This is yours now, Michael said. You keep fighting, okay? You keep being brave. Emma nodded, tears streaming down her face. Michael stood up, turned to the crowd. This young lady, he said into the microphone, she's fighting for her life, and she came here tonight, to this concert, to be with all of us. The stadium was so quiet you could hear people breathing. I want everyone here to sing for Emma, Michael said. Not for me, for her. Let her know she's not alone. Michael started singing Man in the Mirror again, a cappella, no band, just his voice. And then something magical happened. 72,000 people joined in, every single person, singing together. Emma was sobbing, Jennifer was sobbing. Carlos and Maria were holding each other. The song ended. The crowd erupted, not applause, something bigger, a roar of love. Michael Jackson hugged Emma, whispered something in her ear. Nobody heard it but her. Then security carried her back to her seat. But wait, here's where the story gets even more unbelievable. After the concert, Michael's manager found the Rodriguez family. Mr. Jackson would like to meet Emma privately. They were taken backstage, to Michael's dressing room. Michael was sitting on a couch, still in his concert clothes. He patted the seat next to him. Emma's parents put her there. She was exhausted, barely conscious. Emma, Michael said gently, I want you to have something. He handed her a box. Inside was a white fedora, his fedora from the Smooth Criminal video. This hat is magic, Michael said. Every time you wear it, remember, you're a fighter, you're a warrior, and you're going to win. Emma tried to put it on, too big. It fell over her eyes. Michael laughed. A real laugh. You'll grow into it, I promise. Then he did something nobody expected. He sang to her. Right there. Just the three of them in the room. You are not alone. I am here with you. His voice filled the room. No microphone, no stage, just him. Emma was crying. Maria was crying. Even Jennifer, the nurse, had tears streaming down her face. When he finished, Michael kissed Emma's forehead. You're going to make it, Emma. I know you will. Emma held the hat. Thank you, she whispered. Michael looked at Carlos and Maria. I'm covering all of Emma's medical expenses. Everything. The best doctors, the best treatments, whatever she needs. Maria started crying. We can't accept. You're not accepting, Michael said firmly. I'm giving. There's a difference. He handed Carlos a card. This is my personal doctor's number. He specializes in pediatric oncology. He's expecting your call. Carlos couldn't speak. He just nodded. 3 days later, Emma was transferred to a private clinic in Switzerland. Experimental treatment. Last resort. The doctors there were the best in the world. Who's paying for this? They asked. We don't know, Maria said honestly. A friend. But she knew. Everyone knew. 6 months later. February 1993. Emma's cancer was in remission, not cured, but fighting back. Her hair was growing, her strength returning. Maria wrote a letter to Michael Jackson's management company. Thank you for saving our daughter's life. We don't know how to repay you. 2 weeks later, a reply came. Not from management. From Michael himself. Handwritten. Dear Emma, I heard you're getting stronger. That makes me so happy. Remember what I told you on stage? You make me brave. Keep fighting. Love, Michael. Emma kept that letter in the box with the fedora, read it every night. Years passed. 1994, 1995, 1996. Emma grew up, became a teenager. The cancer never came back. But the journey wasn't easy. Physical therapy for 2 years. Her legs had weakened from months in bed. Learning to walk again. Learning to run. In high school, kids stared at her scars. The port scar on her chest. The IV marks on her arms. What happened to you? They'd ask. Emma would touch the fedora she kept in her locker. I survived, she'd say. She graduated top of her class. Valedictorian speech. She talked about second chances. Someone believed in me when I was dying, Emma said. Now it's my turn to believe in others. She graduated high school, went to medical school. I want to help kids like me, she told her parents. 2009, June 25th. Emma was 24 years old, third-year medical student, pediatric oncology track. She was in a lecture when her phone buzzed. News alert. Michael Jackson dead at 50. Emma left the lecture hall, sat in her car, and cried for 3 hours. That night, she posted on Facebook the photo of her and Michael backstage, her in the wheelchair, him kneeling beside her, both smiling. The caption said, In 1992, Michael Jackson stopped a concert for me. A dying 7-year-old. He gave me his glove, his hat, and most importantly, hope. I'm alive today because of him. Not just because of the money, because he made me believe I could fight. Rest in peace to the man who saved my life. The post went viral. 500,000 shares in 12 hours. Then other people started commenting. Michael paid for my sister's heart surgery. $180,000. Anonymous donor. We found out years later. He built a children's hospital in my town. Never took credit, just did it. My son had leukemia. Michael visited him in the hospital. Spent 3 hours there. No cameras, just kindness. My daughter was in a house fire. Burns over 60% of her body. Michael paid for every surgery, 7 years of treatment. We never knew until his lawyers contacted us after he died. He sent my wheelchair-bound brother to Disneyland, private tour, made him feel like a prince for one day. Journalists investigated. The truth came out. Michael Jackson had helped 393 documented families across 18 years, almost all anonymous. The BBC did a documentary. The Secret Humanitarian. Emma was interviewed. People remember the scandals, Emma said on camera. But I remember the man who stopped a concert for me, who looked me in the eye and made me feel seen, who whispered, "You're going to live, I promise." She held up the fedora. He gave me this, and he gave me my life. Today, Dr. Emma Rodriguez runs a pediatric oncology clinic in London. Free care for families who can't afford it. In the waiting room, there's a photo, Michael Jackson on stage, kneeling beside a little girl in a wheelchair. The caption says, "He stopped everything for one child. Pass it on." And on Emma's desk, in a glass case, a sequined glove and a white fedora. If this story moved you, please subscribe and hit that like button. Share this video with someone who needs to remember that one moment of kindness can change everything. Tell us in the comments, have you ever witnessed a moment of pure compassion? Don't forget to turn on notifications because more incredible true stories are coming your way.